the convener for the Malaysian bar volleyball team. In 2013, he graduated from Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia, UKM, with Bachelor of Laws. During his university days, John was an active ALSA member and participated in many national and international ALSA conferences, including the ALSA conference for in 2012 in Kuala Lumpur, ALSA Forum 2012 in Bangkok, and ALSA Conference 2013 in South Korea. He was also ALSA Malaysia's Director of Multimedia, and upon graduating in 2013, John completed his pupillage in Mah Weng Kwai under the guidance of the managing partner, Mr. Raymond Mah. Thereafter, in 2014, he joined Mah Weng Kwai as an associate. John continued his practice with Mah Weng Kwai in the areas of employment law, contractual, commercial disputes, debt recovery, joint management body, and management corporate disputes, company law, and also general litigation. So how are you today, Mr. John?
Hi, Alia. Thanks for the introduction. I'm fine.
Okay, so glad to hear so. So Mr. John Chan, so for today's session, Mr. John Chan will enlighten us by guiding and informing us about how to prepare for a legal internship by sharing his experience, which will help us to take a glimpse of what to expect in the said job and the reality of it. In addition to it, this talk will benefit us by knowing what has changed in the industry and how the pandemic really affected this job scene. So without further ado, let's hear from Mr. John. I pass the floor to you.
Thank you, Alia, and good afternoon, everyone. Hope you guys have had a wonderful session with the training so far. Let me just take over the share screen. Right, so before I start, I would like to do something a bit interactive. Can you all go to this www.menti.com, type in the code so that we can know the demographics for my session today? I just want to gauge. So when you go there, you can see a poll where you can vote.
I believe this is everyone right now.
Okay, so about 26 people here in this session.
Yes.
Thank you, Alia.
Okay.
Okay, so we can see it's quite balanced between first, second, and third year, and 2 from the fourth year, no problem. Okay, so I've been invited today to speak on internships. I will try my best to give a glimpse what to expect, what the firms are expecting, and try to guide you as simple as possible. I hope I don't talk too much, and yeah, let's start. All right, so before you get an internship, obviously you have to prep for an interview. I believe most law firms would do an interview rather than take in straight away. So how to choose the right firm? Firstly, if you're clueless, you can ask around your families, your friends, seniors, lecturers, especially seniors who are already practicing would be a good way to reach out to them and ask what firms is good for internships and whatnot. You can Google law firms in PJ, top 10 law firms in Malaysia, keywords like that. Also, a lot of new firms or young-minded firms are on social media nowadays, so you can go to their social media page and check on what they do, what kind of work they do, what they do outside of legal work. Some are quite fun. They have fun activities, they have firm trips and all that. And from social media, you can gauge how the firm will be like. And of course, there are platforms like Legal 500, Asian Law Profiles, and Asian Law Business or Asian Legal Business, where these platforms rank the leading firms in Malaysia. And from there, you can sort of get a top 15, top 20 of the recognized firms in Malaysia. Considerations is of course your own. You may be looking for litigation, for conveyancing, for corporate. And if it's litigation, you may be thinking of specific practice areas that you may want to try or experience, for example, employment or criminal, can be company law, can be constitutional and public interest especially. Some of y'all may look at the firm size because firm size does affect how you work in a firm. So there'll be, if it's a big firm, there'll be the pecking order where you hardly meet the partners, you mostly meet the pupils and junior LAs. But if it's a mid-sized firm or a small firm, you may be engaging with everyone every day and everyone is very close. So it's really up to you. Some of you all may also consider the firm name. Some want to beautify their resume and their CV for future purposes. Some may look at whether allowances is provided or not. And some may just really prioritize location. Like if you live in PJ, you want to do your internship in PJ to avoid the traffic jam and all that. That's fair, that's up to you. Next page. Right, so how do you apply? Most firms have websites and they usually have a page for applications. But if they don't, then you can definitely just drop an email to the HR or the main address of the firm's email. Please note that cover letter or cover email is a must. I know of many firms who prioritize a cover letter, and in the cover letter, the applicant should state why they are applying to this firm and things like that. So it's not just a submission of a submission of the CV through the email without anything stated there. There should be a proper cover letter or an email accompanying your CV and resume. Of course, keep your resume and CV simple and easy to read, and definitely try to have no spelling or grammatical errors. Especially do not spell the firm's name wrongly, because even in Mawengkwa and Associates, we have received time and time again applications where in the cover letter, the applicant spells the firm name wrongly. So that is immediately my boss, my partner, rejected the application straight away, because that is just disrespectful maybe, or there's really no heart in that application. If you get called for an interview, also make preparation. You must know the firm. Before attending an interview, you should know the firm, do your research. Even if it's the night before, if you have time, do your research. Go to the firm's website, know who are the people, who are the lawyers, who are the partners in the firm, what are the firm's values. Try to search on the news or on LexisNexis on what cases the firm has done before and what are the strengths. Because some firms may be doing a lot of employment cases, doing a lot of criminal cases. So if you can discuss these cases during the interview, it may impress upon your interviewer that this person is serious and knows about the firm and really intends to join the firm, even as an intern. So all this, I suppose, also applies to if you're applying as a pupil or a lawyer as well. So be prepared to be interviewed as if you're a lawyer. I know Mawekwa and Associates, we interview everyone, whether you're an intern or a senior associate. If you're new and you're being interviewed, we respect you as a person, as a professional, and we treat you as if you're interviewing like for a lawyer's position. And so in most firms expect to be tested. Most firms have their legal language and IQ tests. They even get you to write 2 essays so that the interviewer and the firm can gauge your standards and your levels of knowledge, especially. And of course, the dress smart, arrive early, and always be courteous. Okay, so these are the firms, usually the firm's expectations. They are quite cliche, and I'm sure all of you all know this. They expect you to be hardworking, proactive, fair or good legal knowledge, mature and professional. You must be willing to learn. And when you are taught a certain mistake, you should show that you've learned from that mistake and not repeat that mistake again. You are expected to assist the lawyers and the staff, even non-legal staff. They also expect your full cooperation and participation in firm events and projects. A lot of mid-sized and big firms, they organize talks and sometimes firm trips, internal activities, where because you are the intern or the junior, you should volunteer to be on the committee to organize and to plan this type of projects, which will make you which will impress upon your employers that you are serious and you are fully committed with the firm. They also like to see you carry the firm and the partner's name well when you're outside. So, for example, you may also refer clients to the firm even though you're just an intern. And these days with the pandemic, of course, you should be able to work effectively from home or remotely. I have heard of certain firms who have taken in interns where the interns are not required to come into the office at all. So for the whole 2 weeks or 1 month, the intern works from home only and assists the firm and the lawyers directly from home only. And ultimately, even though you are accepted just for an internship, the firm, of course, expects you to add at least a little bit value, if not more, to the firm. Okay, let's do another poll. How many internships have you done before? Okay, good. 99 or 90% of participants have never done internships before. I hope you learned something from my talk today. It's not done yet, I'm just saying. And well done to those who have done 1 or 2 internships. That's very commendable. Okay, so moving forward. Recently also with the MCO and the pandemic, these certain skills have recently been sought after by especially smaller firms and mid-sized firms who don't have the financial capacity to hire consultants and experts. So a lot of them do try to do all this DIY. So if you as an intern or a pupil going into the firm and during the interview, you can tell them that you have these skills or you have been doing this regularly in your daily life, it may help in getting that spot. Like for example, if you are familiar with online tools and platforms like Google Drive and Google Docs, Zoom like today and Trello, it adds a point to you compared to the other applying intern who has zero skills or zero experience in using this. For example, Mawengkwai and Associates, we are, for the past 2 or 3 years, we have been fully on Google Drive and Google Docs. Everything's online. We no longer use Microsoft Word and all that. Everything is online, one copy. There's no copy 1, copy 2, draft 1, draft 2. Everything is on the same document. Everything is in the cloud. Also, digital expertise like e-commerce, financial tech, and cryptocurrency. A lot of all these younger lawyers coming out, they are very interested in developing this. Helping the firm organize and host webinars would be a great help to them. Video editing, helping the firm with their social media, website design, mobile apps design, and of course coding. All this is on the up and coming sought for skills by law firms in general. Okay, so now we come to what an intern can expect in an internship. I will start off with negative possibilities. Yes, of course, you may be asked to do simple tasks like dispatch work, giving technical support. For example, controlling the video camera in a firm talk. Administrative tasks, of course, maybe stepping in for reception duties, printing and binding, highlighting bundles, translation of court papers, transcription of, when lawyers go to trial and the trial is recorded, but they need it in text form. So that's where interns may come in to help listen to the court proceedings video and typing it out what is being said in court. And getting coffee, I'm not sure, I've never heard of this being done in this firm or other firms out there. I think it's in the movies only, but if you've heard of this, do let me know. And of course, limited engagement with lawyers and you feel like, you're unrecognized, you are unknown and unappreciated in the firm. That's the negative, the worst case scenario. But don't get me wrong, tasks like highlighting and translation and transcription helps a lot, helps the firm and the lawyers a lot, especially when time is of the essence. Okay, we come to the positive possibilities. Of course, the best is to be given substantive legal tasks like drafting letters, cost papers, contracts, submissions. If you're in a conveyancing firm, of course, doing the actual conveyancing work, like preparing the conveyancing documents and agreements, the sale and purchase agreements. Participating with the lawyers in legal discussions and attending client meetings with them. Helping them to draft legal articles, whether it's for the website or for newspapers or for LexisNexis. Helping lawyers with legal research. going to court with lawyers and fully assisting them, that is also that should be in every intern's experience if it's litigation. And you may be asked to help partners or lawyers prepare and assist them in talks that they will be giving, whether it's internal or in the Bar Council or to universities or whatnot. And the best is if you have full engagement with partners and lawyers, pupils and staff, basically everyone in the firm, and that you're equally treated and respected. That would be the best too. Okay, so internship, really your ultimate, or your main goal is to have experience and exposure to the legal profession. But it's common to hear from interns, the common complaints, I didn't do anything at the firm, I was there for 1 month, didn't do anything. I only did clerical work, it was a waste of time, waste of my precious holiday. Every day I went there, it was boring, uninteresting. But really, it's really up to what you want, your mindset, and how you want to make the most of your internship experience, because you are the one who applied. And if you get, just say, the worst case scenario, which I showed earlier, the negative possibilities, well, that's up for you to realize and avoid the firm next time, or warn your friends, or speak up in the firm and say, can I have something more substantial to do? But even in that worst case scenario, there are a lot of things to observe, to absorb in your internship that will benefit you moving forward in your legal profession and studies. So of course, what experience and exposure you can get in your internship is substantial law, whether it's contract law, employment law, criminal law, land law, company law, constitutional law. All this is expected. But what is important, especially for your CLP or your final year, is the procedural law, which if you are in first, second, and third year now, you may not know of yet. But procedural law as a junior lawyer is very important. You learn about the time limitation, the formatting of court documents, the jurisdiction of which court to file any case. There's a lot of procedural law that you will need to learn in your fourth year of CLP and your pupillage first, second, and third year and onwards. Procedural law is as important as your substantial law. So if you are doing your internship in a litigation firm, you should try to pick up all these procedural laws also. Of course, if you're given drafting, you learn what are course papers, how to draft certain sentences in course papers, written submissions, how to cite cases in your support, how to distinguish your opponent's submissions. You also learn to write letters, draft contracts if you're in a corporate firm, as well as doing your due diligence. And like I said earlier, conveyancing papers. Next, you will also learn how to do research more effectively. It's really different doing research in the university and when you have to do research for a case. You really just search for what cases will support or attack the opponent's case. So these four are the main legal experience that you should get in an internship. But outside of that, you learn a lot of things if you engage more, like basic skills, cover letters, emails, how to answer calls, formatting of documents, how to use the certain functions on Microsoft Word or Google Docs, which even for me, when I came in as a pupil and first year, that is what I have to learn, how to draft simple cover letters. So your first 2-3 weeks of your pupillage or your first year is really how to draft the cover letters professionally and according to the firm style before you can even go onwards to substantial work. In the course of your internship, you will also get a lot of general knowledge like land law problems, what is a company, what are directors, what are shareholders, what is the Malaysian constitution, It's related to parliament and politicians and politics and all that, and family law. For example, how many cases there are daily or monthly of divorce happening in Malaysia, for example. All this general knowledge is for you to pick up when you're doing your internship in firms. Also, one useful skill to pick up is legal jargons, which you will definitely hear your lawyer colleagues talking day to day, and you just pick up, which is very helpful when you continue your studies and when you come out to work later. And of course, your communication skills. You not only learn how to speak in the workplace, to clients and to the court staff, but you also observe how your seniors and the partner speak to different types of people in the profession. Right, so what to observe and absorb, these are examples, and more litigation inclined, because I am doing litigation, so I can relate and give examples on this. So how court proceedings are conducted when you follow your lawyers to court, advocacy in court. Even though you're sitting in the public gallery, you should take notes, listen to how lawyers speak in court, how they argue to each other. That's how the professionalism is, court decorum. And you practically in the firm see how lawyers deal with legal issues, deadlines, how they deal with a bad case. If you are close, you become close with them, you can even see how they balance their work life and how their personal life is being as a lawyer, for example. For those who intend to open their own firm, of course, the firm management and business development is also there for you to observe as an intern, especially in mid and small firms. Well, these are the other benefits, of course. Increase your practical knowledge when you go back to uni after your internship. You'll have the opportunity to experience the difference in legal practice between how you study, what you see in the movies, and what's in practice. And it gives you an understanding of what the reality is. If you engage a lot with your colleagues, you also find out maybe about how much lawyers are paid nowadays, what are expected of pupils and lawyers, their working hours, whether they come in on weekends, work late nights, or leave early, lawyers' ethics, what's the bar council. You may be brought along with the lawyers to attend lawyer dinners and legal dinners, and the list is endless. If you have fellow interns with you in the same firm at the same time, you can also, you'll be making friends with them, and then you can gauge your standards and how you rank with students from other universities or different seniorities. And if you feel that you rank lower, then it's up to you later on to improve your standards. If you do 2 or 3 or more internships in different type of law firms, they will help you decide your future career and what practice area you want to go into after your graduation. If you perform well in the firm, you will, of course, be remembered and possibly be rehired, because you must remember the legal profession is very small. So just say this year you may be doing an internship with a firm which has 2 junior lawyers who you become close with, and by the time you finish by the time you graduate and you come up as a pupil and as a lawyer, those lawyers that you became close with may already be partners in the same firm, or may have switched firms or opened firms of their own. And so if you maintain that bond or that professional relationship with them throughout, that relationship continues when you're in the legal profession, and it will be beneficial to you. And you must remember that because it's small, word of mouth is very dangerous. So if you perform badly, the lawyers may share the bad performance stories to their friends in other firms and whatnot. But of course, if you're good, the word of mouth will spread also. So don't worry about it. And of course, an internship in a firm enhances your resume and your CV. Okay, these are the alternatives to law firm internships. I just thought I would put this out here. It's also possible to do an internship, but they prefer to call it attachment or marshalling in the court. Some have the opportunity to shadow a judge for the whole time, meaning your workplace is in the judge's office and you assist the judge throughout your internship or attachment period. I have friends who've done it in police stations before, government ministries and agencies, Securities Commission, the Arbitration Center, legal departments of private companies. You can see how in-house lawyers work. You can also intern in NGOs, whether it's wildlife or human rights or women's rights or child rights. The list is endless. Some also do their internship with political parties, not the HQ itself, but for example, under a certain member of parliament in a certain area. And you can also do your internships in the UN and all that. Lastly, I will just share my personal experience as doing an attachment in court. So I'm from Taiping Perak. And so during my university days, there was a compulsory requirement for students to do internships and attachments. So I chose the Taiping High Court, where the magistrate and sessions court are also. So all the courts are in one place. So my experience for 2 months, I observed criminal and civil proceedings in court every day. So in the morning when we arrive, we go straight to the magistrate's criminal court and just observe all the new cases being brought in handcuffs and then being charged with various types of criminal offenses. And then that usually ends around 10:30. Then we go back to the office where it's a bit free, so we go into the metal safe of the court. We walk into and we pull out any case file and we just read what the case is about. We look at the documents and the exhibits, especially photographs of murders. I was able to see police photographs of stabbings and people, corpses and a lot of things. Very good experience. You were also invited by the judges to brainstorm and discuss with them on ongoing cases. On certain days, we get to tag along with the judge, the DPP and the defense counsel, and the accused himself to the crime scene because the judge wanted to go back to the crime scene for the case. So we all went in police cars with VIP escort to the crime scene again. I also managed to tag along with a judge to the prison, Taiping prison, and this is not lockup, it's a Taiping prison for remand proceedings. So we were actually in the prison and with the judge. Of course, when you are a judge in a small town, you are quite respected, and a lot of official events of the town, they will invite the judge. Government official events. So a lot of jamuans and opening ceremonies and officiating events, judge is invited and the judge will bring us attachment students along. Of course, when there's nothing else to do, we assist the court clerks in work, in the stamping and sealing of documents, the binding and the filing. And I think one significant beneficial thing is getting to know judges, lawyers, and registrars, which will be helpful when you come up to practice later on, because you already have sort of contacts or friends in the judiciary and in the legal profession as well, when you come out even as a pupil or first-year lawyer. Okay, that's all.
Okay, thank you to Mr. John Chan. Okay, so right now is the time for Q&A. Does anyone have any questions? You can drop your questions in the chat box. You could also turn on your mic to ask any questions.
Feel free to ask any questions, whether it's about internship or pupillage or practice in general. You want to know how much first year is getting paid. Any questions? Don't be shy. Okay,
so
there's one here.
Yeah. Is it really allowed to ask regarding allowances during the interview? This is a question from P53 Nur Alia.
If you ask me, I would say yes, that is allowed, and you should, because it's only fair that you know. So of course you must phrase your question nicely, be more respectful and be more a bit professional. So for example, you don't ask straight away as the first question. Usually the interviewer will ask you any questions at the end of the interview, and that's where you can politely ask, may I know whether allowance is paid, and if yes, how much, for example. If they say no, then you take it and then you decide later on. No harm in asking.
Hi, John.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, is there anyone want to ask? Okay.
No, you can go, Nurul-Izzah. You can ask your question.
Then Nurul-Izzah.
Oh yeah. Hi, Mr. John. My name is Nurul-Izzah. I would like to ask, how is it like to be an intern in police station? Yeah, that's all.
Okay. I don't have personal experience, but based on my friend's experience, if I can remember correctly, they usually follow the either the investigating officer or the prosecuting officer. So there is some legal elements, or quite a lot of legal elements to that. You'll be in the, you either follow them out for, I don't know, investigations, or going to the prosecution's office to because when you make a police report, the police is supposed to investigate, and upon investigation, go to the DPP, the prosecution's office, for the prosecution to confirm whether we will prosecute or not. So all that involves a lot of legal elements, which I believe my friend was part of, or shadowed the police officers in that circumstance. I don't think she went for any operasi or any more street crime type of work at that time.
Okay, thank you, Mr. John.
Welcome, Noor.
Okay, so this is the final question from Lazarus. How much is the allowances for the newly graduate students? Wow, so many questions about allowances.
Newly graduate students, if you're asking about pupils, my time in 2013, yeah, 2013, it was 2,000 for pupils, for chambering. Now you can get between that and maybe 2008, 2005. It really, again, it depends on the firm you go to. If you are in, for example, typing, and you want to do a pupillage there, you are lucky to even get 500 to 800 ringgit if you're in small towns. If you're in a big firm, you may get up to 3,000. So it depends on the firm that you're applying to.
Okay, so there's one more question, is it?
So P25, right?
Yeah, P25. I think this will be the last question. Okay.
Is
Is
it-
it better to join big or small firms? I was informed that smaller firms give more opportunities instead of giving petty tasks in big firms.
Yes, Muhammad Mazidul, that is the correct perception in general. So if you go to big firms, you may not get paid and you may not even engage with the partners or the lawyers, and you may be given more menial tasks like the one I showed earlier, the binding, the clerical work. And if you join the mid to smaller firms, you better be prepared to work like a lawyer. They will give you a case and expect a certain drafting to be done the next day. So those are the two extremes, I suppose. Any more questions?
I think that is all. All right. Thank you, Mr. John Chan, and great questions, everyone. Unfortunately, this is the only times we have today. So thank you, everyone, for participating. But before ending this, let's take a group photo. So make sure to turn on your camera, everyone, if it's possible.
If you have more questions, you can email me. My email was there just now, or you can ask from the organizers.
Okay, everyone's ready. In 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, wait. Another one. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, I think that's all for photo session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. John, and thank you very much, everyone, for participating in ALSA Malaysia training workshop. Thank you. To participants, I advise you to mute your microphones. Thank you.